Hello and welcome. This is Lindsay of Lindsay and Rogers on the Momentum Talk Show. And today we have a guest, Larry. I'll let you introduce yourself, Larry.
Hi everyone, this is Larry Garcia with Harmonic Nexus. Briefly, I do a lot of healing on the spiritual level with people and mentorship and guidance on the soul level. Thank you.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you here today as the first male on the talk show. So I'm just going to remind everyone what Momentum stands for and why I started it. And then we're going to hear a little bit about Larry and why he got started and what he's doing, and a little insight from him as well. So again, it's called Momentum, which stands for Monumental Opportunity Manifesting Extraordinary New Times upon Man and Womankind. So we're here today to learn about what Larry does, why he does it, and how we can benefit from it. So take it over, Larry.
Awesome. So the basis of what I do is basically healing on the spiritual level, just healing the soul to what we're not used to in society or taught or even understand that we can, to begin with, even know exist. Because a lot of people don't even, I didn't know this for a while. For example, a lot of my clients that I see have a lot of problems with the relationships in terms of love, family, just things that really get your heart going. Or they were hurt in the past and closed their heart off, therefore not allowing things on the level of love and relationships to come into their life. So a biggest goal that I have with this is to help people identify what their energetic blocks are in their soul, so that we can help open up the channels to allow for the good that they actually want to come in. So with that, we do a lot of obviously self-talk. We go through, what are some past things that really are blocking you and really on your mind and make you feel, in a negative vibration. And then from there, what we'll do later as well is show you the crystal bowls, which resonate, if you're familiar or not, with 7 chakra systems here. And every bowl resonates with each chakra to help open it and make you feel at ease. So.
Yeah, and actually, we will get, like he said, a taste of that later on. And Larry and I have done a few events together where we start with the bowls and align everyone's chakras, and then we kind of separate off, and he does some tarot readings and I do some Reiki. And so it's been a pretty cool experience for a lot of the people that participated. And I think they got a lot out of it. And so that's one of our joint goals, I would say, with both of our clients. So one of the things I wanted to know about Larry, when he does his readings, he's very matter of fact, no feelings involved. Like, hey, why don't you just do that? Like, change your life now. It's that easy. And that's helped me a lot. So I'm just kind of curious how you can be so simple and rational in in your thinking, and untie all the emotions from that.
So it's a wonderful question, Lindsay, because I worked very hard on this aspect. And I really noticed this back a couple of years ago now, where I had what I call an emotional impact in my life that basically gave me a slap in the face out of the blue, where I wasn't prepared for it. And because of what happened, I found myself at a point where my emotions were controlling all of my thinking, therefore controlling all of my life. And these emotions were very negative. So therefore, when you have very negative emotions and thought patterns, and you're in that negative vibration, you will attract things like that into your life. So for example, usually a lot of things physically don't happen to me in a negative way. But when this happened to me in the first 3 months after this event, I had gotten third-degree burn on my arm from cooking. Never happened to me before. I was cooking something that I always do. I had was moving with my brother. We had rented out a U-Haul truck, and I was driving. I've rented out maybe 20 U-Haul trucks at this point, but on this day, after these events again, and my negative thinking, I had backed up into somebody's car and completely destroyed just like the left side of their car from backing up. And this is something, I'm a great driver, so this has never happened. So that happened, and then a month after that, I was with my kids, and we were outside, and there was a lot of rocks, and we do a lot of rock jumping and things like that, something I do all the time. On this day, I did that, and I cut my leg very seriously bad, like really deep, and I still have the scar. So those are just some examples of the things that started to happen to me. And I identified to myself, like, I've always been termed more or less a lucky person. So I was thinking, why are all these things happening? And of course, I looked into, well, in the future is, it was just my mindset. Because beforehand, I was thought of positive things. I thought about good things. I thought about love, all these good attributes. But when I was in this thought vibration, I basically started thinking of bad things because of what happened to me was so negative that it literally knocked me into a lower place having that thought process. So obviously, many people can relate with this, and it's not a very good thing to experience at all. So I had to get down to the bottom of this, and I did. So I enrolled myself. I tried one day. I meditated for, I think it was 10 hours out here on my floor, actually. And it was pretty intense to the point where, like, my thoughts were actually suicidal thoughts. I was in depression. Like, I was in a really bad spot. And basically, like, something inside me told me, like, something's got to change here soon, or you're going to lose everything you've worked up to this point. And you may not even have your kids because of the point of your mindset, which is. And I was like something's got to happen here. Like, I can't keep going like this. So I meditated, and I actually connected with one of my guides, and I'm very into like Asian, Oriental kind of things, Japanese, Chinese. So it was like a Chinese grandmaster, and he was telling me, like, you need to get up, like, stop like laying around, like, you need to get on your shit basically, and you need to get your life back together. And this thought process you have is not serving you. You need help as well, and you need to get your ego out of the way to accept help and have a mentor basically. So I said, you know what, I'm willing to do everything. And he said, now we will meditate, and we will bring this to you, and this will happen fast, and it will happen soon. And it did. So I meditated, and literally maybe a week later, I was contacted by a woman. Maybe people are familiar with Bob Proctor. I really started looking into Bob Proctor's his work because he talks about the subconscious mind and our paradigms. And my higher self guided me into learning more about this. So I was intrigued immediately, and I started commenting on things. And this lady reached out to me and said, "Hey, my coach is having a live webinar, next week, this time, XYZ. Did you want to join?" And I felt in my heart, my intuition told me, like, yes, this is what we're looking for. I said, yeah. So I watched it, and it was exactly what I was looking for. Just my coach in general, he was in complete alignment with me. Like, I just knew, like, this is my way to finally get back on my feet. So I enrolled with him, and I did pay, thousands of dollars for the program, which I'll tell you was worth every penny. And from there, I started to slowly start this process of reprogramming my mind, of studying again, of self-development, of really going after something I love doing to improve myself. So as the time went by, I got to a point where, I started journaling every day in this program. It teaches you to do these things. So I started journaling again, reading, like, all of these positive things. Of course, my life started to get better. So as time progressed, I actually forgot about a lot of negative things that happened to me because I shifted myself into a positive vibration. And in the coaching program, we talk about a lot about, just the vibration you're in attracts what else in your life comes as well. So if you're in a negative vibrational thought process, you will attract things in that frequency. And I have shifted myself very fastly with that program and being around other people at higher vibrations. That was key, is being in an environment with others who are at levels you want to achieve, and also other students who are going through similar challenges. Because we have a group coaching environment where everybody asks a question with the coach, and he live with maybe whoever's on it, even replays, can see the questions we ask. And a lot of people are either too afraid to ask a question. So a lot of times someone else will ask it, and they'll be like, man, I was thinking of that. Or it's like, man, I didn't have that question, but that helps me a lot in the current situation. So going through this process 3 days a week, in communication with my coach, and again, the drive to want to get better, the drive to want to achieve, got me to that higher place to experience the things that I wanted in life and not what was previous. So through all that, about 2 years, so maybe 6-7 months ago, I got back into my my spiritual work, as I had reprogrammed myself to think in a positive way. I had been doing better in business. I had better relationships. Just every area of my life improved from what happened. So at that point, I could now think of achieving more and actually going towards my goals, because now I basically healed myself at a certain level. And yes, there was a lot of personal healing. A lot of people helped me. Like, it was a big journey for this, but the main key component where I tell people, I even help and coach now, is that you need to want it bad. Like you want to, like whoever's helping you, like they should only be helping you maybe 25%. Like you need to give it more power and more effort than the coach does for you. Because a lot of times I was even coaching people before where they really wanted help, and they were kind of expressing it, but at the same time, me being how I am and a healer and wanting to help people, I wanted to help them more than they were willing to help themselves. So I was draining myself and just running in a circle trying to help someone that really wasn't committed to getting to the next step. And therefore, I was actually messing with my vibration. So I got to the point now where I tell people that first, number one, and then after we go through some things, I see, hey, like this needs to happen next. Like I can't do this for you. Like I'm here next to you, I'm here cheering you on and everything, but like the saying goes, you can, the race, I can help you prepare for the race and everything, but I can't run the race for you. Like this is you. I'm gonna, like I've already won, I've already been at the finish line. That's why you're coming to me for help, because I've achieved something that you want to achieve. So therefore you can be taught that because of my success and experience from it. So I've already run this race, this part of the race that you're needing help with. But I can't run that for you, but I can help you and tell you what it needs to happen to reach the finish line. And that's up to you, because I can't do it for you. So it's identifying that moment where, the person really has to be at that level of commitment, or it just doesn't work. So just going with that, I got to this point basically where I could even help other people go through, trauma and emotional impacts as I did. And it made me feel good, because I've always loved helping people, and just person after person after person, just, success and just getting the feedback. And I also, had low confidence from my emotional impact as well, that I started to build my confidence as well, and to really trust into what I was doing, and to know it was on the right path, because it felt really, really good. So the more I do it, the better I got. And then I even along the way have met other people in the same kind of area and with the journey of this, to want to heal themselves and also ascend above. Like my biggest thing is helping, like one of my abilities is helping you bring out your ability basically. And it's wonderful because I coach people through a process, depending on the level of which their commitment is, I will go into deeper aspects to really bring them out into what they really are. And through the process, I will tell you, on the other side, it actually got to the point where now my best friend, Dustin Jakes, and he's the artist with our company, Harmonic Nexus. And you look at his artwork, I mean, you can see some artwork in the back there. So he's absolutely magnificent. And before when I met him, he had just about no spiritual knowledge. Like he was completely, just did not know anything at all. But the difference between him and all these other people that I've coached and mentored and just really tried to help was his desire to want to change, and also his perception to see that what I was working with was the real deal. Because a lot of people want to change, and like some people might offer programs or whatever it is, but you have to realize what is in front of you. You have to really think about like, wow, like I hit gold basically with what I found. So, but if you hit gold, what you have to start to mine it. You have to pick it up. It's not just there and then like, okay, someone gets a photo. No, you still need to get the work, have to have the work to get the gold. So my friend Dustin, he would come to me all the time. Like it wasn't me like texting him or calling him like, hey, how are you doing? Like every now and then I did that, but it was him mostly telling me, hey, when can we hang out? When can we do this? Like this, I'm going through this. Like he was just asking for advice and all these things like that, and just really telling me like, I want to go on this journey that you always talk about. So we developed, I've been formulating a healing practice basically to take people through a journey. It could be, for him, it took 6 months. But even after the first session, your life completely shifts. So through a journey basically of unblocking and learning about all the subconscious things from our past and even past lives that are holding us back in life and really attracting these things that we don't want. And also family paradigms that we never even agreed to. Because a lot of times, a lot of things that we're doing is we're just taught from, the parents above us, and then they're taught from their parents, and then so on and so forth. And someone was on some BS somewhere, and now this paradigm is within the family. And that's not fair for you. But it's identifying that you don't want to have this BS be a part of you. Like for me, a big thing was always being late to everywhere, because my dad was always late to everywhere we went and things like that. So therefore I developed that as well. And I never understood. I always hated it. It's like, man, why am I always late? Like, and it was the same with my brothers. So, just going through learning here in the future about paradigms and how they affect us because we're basically like programs. So basically I was programmed from my father's, and he was probably programmed from his father, so on and so forth, that it was into me subconsciously, and I didn't even realize it because it's just autopilot. It's just autopilot. Because it's autopilot, we can't identify it until someone that's helping us can identify it as well. So I was identifying these things, and through the journey, we basically go through these steps on identifying these deep subconscious wounds in every single chakra point. So I tell you right away, it's always the lower chakras. So the chakras that are associated with the earth plane, so the grounding chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, and the heart chakra, the connector between the lower and the higher chakras. And just as an example, we go through maybe with the lower chakras, the things that always come out are things in the past, maybe where if you were abused, if you were raped, if you were hurt, things on the physical that really impact you at a young age. So those come up. And also as well with people, even in myself, where I was addicted to porn, and that was blocking my lower chakras from the negative energy of watching, these acts, and just the vibration of that tying in to myself, closing me off there. And then a lot of people too, people had many sexual partners or were used, or, having sex not out of love on a consistent basis with multiple people, attaching all these other people's energies, because people don't understand that with every sexual experience you have with a person, you mold with their energy. And if you mold with anyone else's energy, they're attached to you. So this is someone that is not coming out of love and is just, purely just for sex and to use you. They have a lot of bad energy attached to them. And now you will attach that to you, because sex is a sacred thing. So we go through that. So my friend, for example, he had many sexual partners that was not out of love or anything. So it was really heavy on his lower chakras. So in the journey, we go through these things and we talk about, and have these things expressed, like let them out, because a lot of times we're afraid and we're embarrassed to talk to these things because it's not a societal norm, and it's not, people aren't open about this. So therefore, the more you suppress it, the more it just kind of solidifies and gets heavier within your energy. So we talk about that, we have a process, and we shift it out, and I go through a whole process on how to get that energy out of you and use some tools with it as well. So basically, we've developed a system here where we work through all the chakras. So we work with the lower ones, teach you how to be grounded, teach you how to flush these old negative things, release the past, all these things, release, sexual things that are not serving you, even other entities that are tied to you. They move up to the solar plexus chakra, regain your energy, basically open up your power cell, go up to the heart, release any pain, any just negative things that have happened to you, maybe in a past relationship or even with parents. People, it's usually people who we trusted or loved that hurt us, which is the thing that happened to me. And that really closes us off tremendously. But also it closed the most important thing that, I work with people on is to unlock the heart, because the people close it off where they can no longer attract that love that they seek. So going through that is huge. So open that heart up and really, healing it and having that trust with it. So then after that, again, we go to the higher chakras. And there's the higher chakras usually involve more of how to connect to the higher realms, basically. So like when we get to the throat chakra, we can identify too, if someone's too afraid to, or doesn't have enough confidence to express vocally what they really believe in, be their authentic self, to be genuine, to really speak their truth and what they believe in, and being heart-centered with that, because that throat chakra connects with your heart chakra. So as we move up, then you become heart-centered with what you talk about. And then we go through that process, and again, we get to the third eye. Then usually the third eye is just expansion of your psychic development, the expansion of seeing real truth and cutting into the realities we can't see, becoming more psychic, our psychic gifts, our given gifts. These are available to everybody. A lot of people ask me like, oh man, like how'd you get here? How do you develop these things, and what are you going through? And, a lot of people think yes, I did have natural abilities at a young age, but I actually, in a part of my life, closed them off completely, just being, with society. Like I was listening to really bad rap music where it's just swearing, derogatory, just really bad things going on, talking about, sex, money, and having sex all the time, and stealing, just all the negative things. And when I look back in the future, people don't understand is when you're listening to something, you program yourself subconsciously to attract those things. So at that period of time, you know, I was in a gang. Like I started having sex at 12. I was started drinking alcohol at 12. Like I was doing all these things that basically close off the lower chakras, basically, and really are tied to that. And that closed me off from all my higher chakras. So everything that I had kind of worked for when I was younger, I did a lot of meditation. Like me and my friends are really spiritual. I basically closed it all off, and I didn't meditate for probably 8 years. That's how closed off I was. And I can tell you, within that time, I did not have any of these abilities. I completely closed them off, and I wasn't able to have this intuition to guide me properly. But eventually, again, you know, a lot of circumstances happened where my higher self was like, hey man, like enough stuff. Like you've learned these lessons from not, you know, from the material world basically, and it's time to really step into the power of what you're supposed to be doing. And at that point, you know, when I started working more on this, and again, everyone has this, is you have to be working. I tell you, like my friend Dustin, like he said, he didn't have none of these abilities going on. And now contact him, look at his art. Like you will see that what happened, the shift that happened to him after I helped him to awaken and unlock himself is just, it's honestly unbelievable. It's like this guy wasn't drawing at all. And now he is drawing masterpieces. Like you look at his art, it has an effect on your subconscious mind. It takes energy, it recycles, it heals, it protects it. It is very powerful stuff. So once I achieved that to help him, I was like, yeah, I figured it out. And then now, being the guy he is, I unlocked him. Then he started to work on me. So this was the best. This was just overall the most wonderful experience of just this whole process, because my whole life up to that point, maybe, you know, 6-7 months ago, was me helping other people at this point. But finally, I got to a point where I helped someone so much and so genuinely that he leveled up to a point at my level and went above it and helped me, which in turn leveled me up to help him again. And right now, that's what we do. We just have a constant ebb and flow where when I'm down, he helps me. When he's down, I help him. We just go back and forth, and we just leveling up the whole way. And just this, you know, that's how we created our company now, Harmonic Nexus, where, you know, we do artwork, we do music, you know, the crystal singing bowls, you know, we do tarot readings, we even offer crystals. Like we have a lot of things that we're gonna offer people in the future. And one of our main goals that we are manifesting right now is we're gonna have a retreat kind of building out in the nature, the woods, somewhere beautiful, where we're gonna take people on these journeys. It's kind of just like a getaway for, you know, 1 to 3 days, whatever you can commit to, even 7 days, depending the level of healing you want. And just out in nature, just away from everything, just the most beautiful setups to just have you really indulge yourself on what it means to be connected with Mother Earth and yourself, most importantly, and this healing journey, and just to be open and be vulnerable and to really want to change. So we're gonna have that. So just anyone listening, watch out for that, because that's gonna happen. Because it's our passion and we get whatever we want. And because we're so passionate about this, you know, we wouldn't have it any other way but to create it, basically. Like we can't accept that we can't have it, because we know we can have it. So therefore we're going to have it. So just going with that, you know, healing him helping me through this process has just got me to higher places. Like an example here, people know me for doing tarot card readings. So me and Lindsay actually just did one earlier, and it was an amazing meeting, I'll tell you that. Lindsay's just a wonderful woman, so of course it was just a great reading. And so the story with the tarot here with me is actually, I picked it up, well, I didn't pick it up, I was introduced to it by my older brother back in 2016. And I can tell you, when he introduced this to me, it was just so accurate, so spot on. I could just really feel the energy with it that it honestly scared me, because at that time I was very ungrounded and I didn't know much about the chakras. Like I was just learning. So it really just like hit me hard, like, man, just the accuracy of these things. Because then what happened is the predictions and just from the readings we did, everything happened with what the readings were going off. So I got scared of it, because again, the things that happened weren't positive for me in my life. So I thought at that time, because of what I was going through. Because now in the future, I see that these things that happened to me were very necessary in my growth and my development to do what I do today, to really help people and serve. And you know, our biggest goal as well is to just help the planet, basically help the people of the planet, save the world, just to really knock out a lot of the old paradigms and BS of society that, you know, doesn't work and it's just hurting everybody out of the way. So, but with the tarot, I was afraid of it. So I didn't touch it since 2016. So then my friend Dustin here, then, you know, I call him my very crazy friend. He basically, one day with another friend, they were in a metaphysical store, and his intuition was just something. At this point, like, I had opened this guy up so much, like, again, he didn't have any psychic abilities that he knew of, nothing, just, and now his abilities are just over the roof. Like, it's like, man, you like, this guy's been doing this his whole life, it seems like. Like, that's what it seems like for us because of the level of work we've done on each other. So he decided to pick up cards, and I had actually been thinking about it, but I still had that fear of them. I still had that old fear. It's like, oh, like, something tells me I need to get back into the tarot cards, but like, the fear was just stronger than the desire at that point. So of course, my Dustin here, he gets the cards and come over to my house, and he lived out an hour and a half, so he would drive all the way down here for us to do our what we call our rituals and our what we call crazy Larry and Dustin nights, or just a typical Larry and Dustin night. Just that's, you know, what we do together, just crazy stuff. So he brought cards, and I was like, ooh, like, I was kind of like, oh, like a little, you know, uneasy with it a little bit, because I was like, oh man, like, damn, here are the cards. And like, he didn't even tell me. He just came down. He's like, look what I got. And I was like, those tarot cards? Yeah. And apparently him and our other friend had been practicing with them for quite a while at that point. So they were already kind of a little well-versed with it. And here I am like, oh shit, like, what's going on? So then they proceeded to do, you know, the readings on me and just everything. It was like, wow. And like, it felt great. Like, I had a huge release of energy and just more clarity. And I was just like everything was like, yeah, because it was telling me like things I was going through, the things that happened in the past, and like what I've been manifesting, because I learned that the tarot cards are just a reflection of what's already in our subconscious mind and our message from our guides, angels, and the world above, even our past loved ones. So just having the understanding of that and learning more about it, I was like, wow, like, there's something big here. So the more I practice it, you know, then we were doing it together to the point where I didn't have any fear anymore. Like, they did a lot of readings on me, and like, we went through so much internal work with each other that they were able to get all these things out of me, which I was that were holding me back on all levels. So once I was out, I didn't have the fear anymore, because I had more awareness. And the more we shift our awareness, the more we understand things and can live, you know, we won't have fear, because fear is an illusion. It's not real. It's just, we don't understand. We're just ignorant of things. So once I was over that, my crazy ass went and bought 6 tarot decks. So yeah, it's like, okay, like, what are we talking about here? So I bought 6 decks. And of course I gradually, you know, mastered the next ones, whatever. And it took me, like, I was so like in the beginning, I practiced so much. I was, for 3 weeks straight, at least 5 days a week, I was working with the cards for 4 hours a day. I was just ultra obsessed. And I get like that. When I get really interested into something, and like, I feel this pull from like my higher self, just all these things, I'm like, yep, I am doing it. Like, this is the right thing to do. And at this point, like, I knew what that intuition feels like. So I was like, this is right. Do it. So I did. And it was correct, of course. So by doing this, it just like opened up so many avenues. Like, I just felt myself just like leveling up. And through the tarot, the more you practice this, it actually opens up your third eye and your psychic development more. So the more I did it, just the more I just began to level up more. And I was like, man, just one day I was just like, you know, because I was just, you know, I like doing this for fun. I was like, hey, you know, I'm going to create a group for this. And, you know, I just want to do some readings for people, just to, you know, hone my skills basically. And I did. And the first time I did it, it was pretty exhausting, honestly. I did like 10 readings or something like that in like a 4-hour span. But I learned a lot, and it was like, everyone's like, wow, that's accurate. And like, I got very positive feedback, because like my friend Dustin also, he was like encouraging me, like, dude, you gotta do this. Like, man, like, making me understand like that it's not about me, you know, kind of just doing this for myself, but it's about helping people. Like, this is actually really helping people at a deep level. So by you not helping people, you know, you're doing a disservice to what your goals are. So it's like, yeah, man, you're right. So I did it, and he was right, of course, and just impacting people. So at this point now, I've evolved it to the point where, you know, I've had people crying over it. Like, I even, you know, I have like probably so many people tell me, like, one of the recent reading was, he said that the reading I gave for him was the turning point in his life. The turning point in his life. It was what he needed to take the next step to what he really is going to accomplish and his goals and what he wants to do. And now, like, he didn't have as much courage. Like, he had a lot of these blocks, and I figured out that his masculine and feminine energy was out of balance and things like that. So, just identifying all these things for him and just telling him, like, this is the only things you got to do. And of course, this is a message from your guys' subconscious. So of course, he already knew it. Like every reading, you already know these things. It's just seeing it in a more 3D form to kind of give you that clarity and solidification of what's going on there. So, like, he's in the coaching business, and he had been a coach for, I think, certified. He paid $30,000 to become a coach for like 2 years, and not really marketing his business. Like, people didn't really know he was even coaching. So it's like, in the reading, just tell him, like, you got to take action. You got to have courage for this. Like, you have to just put yourself out there, have no fear, and just really tackle this thing. And I can tell you today, this is only a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he has just took like just the completely different direction. Now, with no momentum for the last 2 years of this coaching business, in the same day, he made his own Facebook group. The same day, he did a live video. All these things changed his profile. Like, he just went absolutely just insane with it, the way, just basically caught everything back up to speed. And now, like, every day he has posts and he's doing live videos and just really going at it. And he's like, yeah, because your reading was a turning point in my life for that. And that's just one. Like, I tell you, these exams, like, it's every single person. So I was like, wow, this is just like, it's very powerful. And like, I really, 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 built myself up to be able to do it at that level, because I also had my own fears, like, oh, like, what are people going to think? And, all these kind of negative thought processes that most people have, that we're basically, again, programmed from society and from other people, and it's not us. So yeah, so then now I do tarot card readings at professional level, and I include a nice professional video, and PDF. And even if you choose a package where you have art, my friend Dustin, he will actually draw you a custom drawing of what your subconscious is currently projecting, basically. So it's just, it's a great package there. And just, we feel great doing it. Like, the art's beautiful, like the help we give people, having people really let go and to open up these things and express who they really are at, just a deeper level. And again, just that healing, just that hope they get. And also the confirmation, because a lot of people will say to me as well, like, that is the last thing I needed as a confirmation to go forward with what I want to do. And once they get it, then boom, they take that action, and then their life changes completely. Because also, as with the abilities I have, is I channel, kind of an energy recycler, absorber as well. So I will actually extract things from people that is buried within them on a deeper subconscious level that's been blocking them energetically, and then filtering it out and grounding it and, doing my thing with it through my abilities, which is really the real reason why they haven't moved forward. Because now my understanding of how the chakra system works and our energy is, when you're blocked in these places, especially the lower you go, you can't connect with your higher self, your guides, whatever you want to call the above force, God, whatever you believe in, doesn't matter. Just the divine realms and your guides. You're blocking off communication for them to help you manifest the good things in your life. And because you're in a negative vibration. So the lower in the vibration you are, I think of it as an antenna of, like, I have a meditation I take my clients and just anyone, when I'm helping, is when we get to the crown chakra, I tell them to imagine of just a divine white light coming out from their head into the universe, and as an antenna to connect with your guides, angels, higher self, and all divine beings who want to help you. And the farther you extend that antenna, the more, your frequency raises, the more of a higher level of being can help you with whatever you want. And I'll tell you, once you connect, it's amazing. It's wonderful. And it's just, they just send you love, and they're like, oh, this is what they say. They say to you, finally, like, we've been trying to get you this message for years, you finally got it. Like, yes, like, we're finally in communication. Like, good, keep this up. So with that, another subject we want to really touch on is maintenance. So for that as well, I noticed that you can open this up. You can do this meditation. Like, I have people maybe watching this are, like, maybe you started doing meditation, you started doing yoga, you started exercising, you started writing, you started reading a book, whatever. Something of a new habit you want to develop that is a positive for you that you want to do. You started to do, but you stopped, and you stopped being consistent with it. So therefore, the level you reached, like, for example, in meditation and having your antenna rise, it actually starts to shorten. And the longer you go without maintaining it, the, the more of it that comes back into you, and then the more your chakras can become blocked again and all these things like that. But if you do it consistently, you're always open all the time. You're always manifesting the good that you want. You're always in a higher vibration. You're always in a good feeling, which is what everybody wants. So in the maintenance as well, that goes with everything in life. It's just, for example, if you're in a relationship, a romantic relationship, and a lot of times you find, in beginning of relationships are always just wonderful, the best, again, like that honeymoon period. But a lot of times then, as time goes on, and this is a big thing for guys, is the guy forgets about what he was doing with his woman when they were first together. What got her to love him? What got her to be excited? What really was this driving force? Because what happens then when the guy stops doing these things, then the woman's energy slowly fades. And women, they're like, oh, kind of tell them, oh, he'll be back. He's just going through a thing. And they keep, having this hope that you will become like that again. And will even give you, suggestions and like let you know, they'll even tell you straight up, like, why don't you do this anymore? Why don't we go out? Why don't you give me flowers? X, Y, Z. And then the guy, if they don't listen, it goes. And then bam, because you're not maintaining the relationship, this is just an example on the guy side. Because you're not maintaining the relationship starts to dissolve. It starts to go, it's no longer in sync anymore, because you stopped the maintenance. And, again, exercise. You exercise, let's say you exercise for 3 months, 5 days a week, and you lost, a good, let's say 15 pounds. You're like, okay, man, I'm good. And then you stop. And then 3 months later, you gain the 15 pounds back, and you're like, man, what the hell? Like, I worked out like 3 months ago. Like, what's going on? But you did not maintain it. So it's like, if you want that, you have to maintain it. You have to have a consistent pace. That's just overall, and you can use that analogy with just about everything you do in your life, every little aspect. So
I heard someone phrase it like watering a flower daily.
Yes. So as Lindsay said, yeah, watering your flower daily, your plants, everything in general. Like if it didn't rain, just the whole cycle of things. Like think about that. The earth maintains itself for things to grow, keeps this process going. If it stops that, then nothing grows. So, we see it in nature, it's the saying, as above, so below. If you look at the microcosm, you can see these things happening in effect. And you look on the larger scale, you see the same thing goes on. And we are no different. We are no different. We all fit together in this puzzle piece. But when you do not realize that and have the awareness for it, you are out of sync with the laws of the universe. And when you become out of sync with the laws of the universe can't bless you. Oh, man.
Wow, that came full circle. That was very good. Okay, well, I feel like I'm like in court, like I have no further questions. I think you completed all the topics we discussed. Thank you very much. That was very good, very thorough. We got your whole journey, which was great, and then saw how you were personally affected by many of these things and what your path was prior to, during, and after, and how you've been able to help other people. And now, whenever you're ready, we'd love to get our chakras aligned.
Yes, so we can definitely do that. So we will spend around 10 to 15 minutes there with, so in the back here I have my crystal singing bowls, and as I talked earlier, they each resonate with every chakra here. We go here to the red one, so that resonates with the root chakra, the orange to the sacral chakra, the yellow, solar plexus chakra, green, heart chakra, blue, throat chakra. I guess this color is more of a indigo purplish, whatever you want to say, to the third eye. Then the crown is like a deeper purple, whatever, but it should be brilliant, just like divine white light. So just playing the bowls all together, just kind of get your body and basically the vibration of the sound retunes your frequency of your chakras to how they should be, basically. And it feels great and it's extraordinary. So Lindsay, do you have anything else to add, or should I just start playing here?
Is this our maintenance?
Yes, there you go. Bam. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah. So this is our maintenance here. And for example, when I do my readings or when I do anything spiritual, I always, play my bowls beforehand, because I want to make sure I am balanced and I am in an open center and I am clear, I'm balanced to do a reading to help somebody, so that there's no other negative things and BS that come through. to disrupt the healing work that I'm doing. So it worked very great. So
Preparation is super powerful.
yes, so
Nice light.
thank you. So, set the mood a little bit. Ladies like setting the mood. I know, ladies like it. She light some candles too, shouldn't I?
Larry.
Hey, what can I say? Okay. So, any last words before I start?
No, I think we're good. I think this is what we generally do when we work together. So first everyone sits down and gets their chakras aligned in this manner, and then they have the tarot and the Reiki afterwards. So it's super beneficial to begin here, and then afterwards generally we talk and ask people how they're feeling, what they went through. And the more open people are, the better. Because if they say something that they're thinking or feeling or that they went through or that helped them during this time, or there's something that came up, generally other people do too. And so I encourage all of you listening to just feel what you feel, and maybe you'll come up with a color or a word or a feeling or a memory, and hold on to that because it's very important, and it can relate to what comes up next in your healing journey. It might be the tarot that happens, it might be the conversation that happens the following day, it might be a color or someone that calls you out of the blue. It's all related. And while Larry's getting set up there, I'll just say a few more things. You ready, Larry?
Yep, I was just lighting some sage, starting my my incense here. So, Lindsay, I'm gonna set a timer. Actually, could you talk to make sure I can hear you from here?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So just let me know when to begin.
Get yourself centered and go ahead and get started when you're ready. Do you want the light on, Larry?
The light?
We can't see you. Uh-huh. There. Better. I think we're picking up some different noises. That was wonderful. Thank you.
All right, and that will conclude the quick 10 minutes there.
You get your mic set up. So for those of you who joined and participated and you were able to hear that, just think about how each of those bowls made you feel, because each one resonates at a different frequency, and so it attaches to different types of chakras, and so you might have felt something. So take note right now, otherwise you might forget. Any last words, Larry?
Um,
No, remote control lights.
yes, for people who have watched this and resonate at this level with what we're doing here, that to reach out to us, and if there's anything that, for example, if you feel, you know, you resonate to get a tarot card reading, you know, contact me and we can do that. And I also have a private group for tarot reading, so you could just message me for that or whatever. If you really want to, you'll find it. So there's that. So just a quick reading for whoever this resonates with now. I decided to pull this for whatever's going on. It says, the opportunity to improve your plans. Listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. Face your fears and grow stronger. I would say that pretty much sums up what I was talking about.
Right
So,
on.
and this is why I love just doing the tarot, because it's like you can't make this stuff up, like just the way it goes, and it just, you have to be aware of what's going on. So whoever is listening to this right now and this resonates with you is to really think about right now what you're doing. If do you have a plan, number one is what I'm getting. Do you have a plan? So for those listening, if you don't have a plan, again, the opportunity to improve your plans or create plans, you know, first off. So there's that message there. And then listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. So a lot of people may be thinking like, oh, you know, if you're not so much, you know, if you're still starting out this path here of the spiritual kind of things and meditation and all that, a lot of times you can say intuition is that gut feeling, like your conscious is like, don't do that. Like, no. And you feel it in your heart. It's like, ooh, that feels bad. Like someone comes to you and like asks you something, and like you feel the energy and your heart just kind of drops and you just like, oh, like that doesn't feel good, or whatever they're talking about. But we all have this experience in our life where we don't trust our intuition, our gut feeling, our conscious, and we do the opposite. And you can tell me what happens. Exactly. It's never good. Never. Not one time. Every single time you knew it. You beat yourself about it like, man, I felt it. Like, damn it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So again, that's your intuition, but it works in the opposite as well. It's, you can, you know, what it feels good. It's like, yes, do this, do this, do this. And sometimes it feels a little scary, so you don't, but just know when your intuition is telling you like, yes, like this is what you wanted, do this now. Like, it's kind of scary, but as long as it's in the direction of your goals and your plan, this is going to be fine. So listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. Again, so whatever you're doing, have that accurate guidance for your plans, whatever it is that you're doing. And then finally, face your fears and grow stronger. So again, like I just explained, is whatever fear comes up while you're trusting your intuition, that basically you need to face it. Just, it's going to make you stronger. As long as it's, again, steps here is plans, improve your plans, have plans, trust your intuition with your plans, have accurate guidance with that. And once you do these things, you are going to have fears come up, because the reason you haven't grown to the goals that you want is because you have not been facing those fears. So they're going to come up, because if you want to get to level 2, you need to get through this fear, and you will grow stronger. And every time I will tell you, and you probably already experienced this yourself, is after you do it, it's like, what the hell was I scared about? Right? It's like every time it's like, whoa, that was 900% easier than I thought it was going to be. Or almost every time as well, it's like, oh, that's it? Like, what the hell was I making a fuss about? It's like, oh, okay, cool. Give me my pen, I guess. You know, and I'll tell you, every time it's like that. And the more gradual steps you take, of course, the fears get bigger, but you grow stronger every time. So the fears are still at the same level because you're that much stronger. Don't you want to be stronger? Like, who doesn't want to be stronger? Like, that's a no-brainer. So I guess the overall theme here that this spirits are telling me overall is, yeah, that this is, for whoever's listening, myself or Lindsay, everybody, whoever has been attracted to this reading, just know this. that your subconscious, your spirit guides, you know, the higher self has drawn you to listen to this. Like if you're still here at the end of this, and I know many people will probably won't be. So if you haven't been at the end of this, this is for you. And to know that we're here to help you. You just have to ask for it. So if you want to reach out to me or Lindsay, don't hesitate. Like if that's a fear you have, like, oh, like I never reach out to anybody, you know, things like that, just tell you that you can trust us. Like we are really here to really help you. Like that's very genuine. Like whatever it is you're going through, whatever fear it is, that we're here for you. This is again why Lindsay and I are doing, like this is why she has her talk show here. It's for these to help you. This is why she does this. It's to help you, to connect you with people like me and her other friends who just want to help others and to spread the light and to really get to the next level here. So honestly, I didn't even know I was going to do that. Just I was like, oh, okay, cool. So there's that.
Well, what a great ending. Very well said. And that's great for all of you who are, again, still listening. Congratulations and welcome to the end of the end, the real end of the show. We're happy to have you here today. And thanks again, Larry, for joining, telling us about your journey, sharing your the experience of the bowls. That's pretty profound experience in itself. So you just got a little bit of taste of the readings. And then if we ever do an event together, maybe these days it would be virtually, we can do Reiki with that as well. So it's quite the package that you receive. And I think it does inspire a lot of people to jumpstart or confirm things they have already known in their life. And so we're just here to guide you along that path, motivate you, push you just a little. Okay, well, thanks for joining in today, Larry. Anything else you want to say? A verbal goodbye?
Yeah, just you're welcome. I enjoyed the time here, and I'd love the opportunity for you to consider me to come here on your show. I greatly appreciate it. And I guess closing message I'm just getting is, so whoever this resonates with, your spirit guide, someone's telling me this, that it's really time for you just to take that next step. Like whatever it is that you're holding back, like however you were attracted to this reading, even if it's not with us, seek coaching, mentorship, guidance from somewhere, because whatever you want to get to your next step, you can't do it alone. And that was a big thing I had to learn, is that you can't do it alone. So whatever you're going through, just know that you just need to reach out, like just get into that good vibration, meditate, just again, listen to crystal bowls, get your vibration up to attract the proper guidance and use your intuition for who is going to help you on the next part of your path, basically. So I guess, thank you. Love and light to everybody, and you'll join us next time, I guess.
Till next time. And just to confirm what he just said, yes, the right person, guide will appear. Trust that. It will happen. Okay, thank you all so much. Till next time.